The throne room opened before Lisa like something from a dream. The ceiling stretched impossibly high, decorated with what looked like actual stars that twinkled and moved in slow patterns. The walls were made of the same translucent material as the corridors. But here they showed scenes of Zephyrian history, battles, celebrations, and moments of great beauty. At the center of it all sat Princess Zara. Lisa had seen images in the diplomatic files, but nothing had prepared her for meeting the princess in person. Zara was tall even by Zephyrian standards, with skin that shifted between silver and pale gold. Her features were delicate but strong, with high cheekbones and eyes that seemed to hold depths of ancient wisdom. But what struck Lisa most was how young the princess looked. Despite being over 200 years old by Earth standards, Zara appeared to be in her early 20s. Her movements were graceful and confident as she rose from her throne to greet her human visitor, Princess. Zara wore robes that seemed to be woven from moonlight itself. They flowed around her like liquid silver, and when she moved, tiny points of light danced across the fabric like captured fireflies. Her hair was not hair at all, but flowing tendrils of pure energy that moved with her emotions. "Welcome to Zephyria Prime, Commander Martinez," Princess Zara said, stepping down from her throne. Her voice was like music played on crystal instruments, clear and beautiful. Lisa bowed deeply as protocol demanded. "The honor is mine, Your Highness. I bring greetings from Earth and President Helen Foster." President Foster. Princess Zara smiled, and Lisa noticed that when she did, her skin took on a warmer golden hue. "I have read much about your leader. She sounds like a remarkable woman. I look forward to learning more about human governance." The formal introductions took an hour, during which Lisa presented gifts from Earth, a collection of human art, music, and literature that the diplomatic corps had carefully selected. Princess Zara examined each item with genuine interest, asking detailed questions about human culture and creativity. "Tell me, Commander Martinez," Princess Zara said as they walked through the palace gardens after the formal ceremony. "What drives humans to create such beautiful and terrible things? Your species fascinates our scholars." Lisa considered the question carefully as they strolled past floating flowers and singing trees. "I think humans create because we know our time is limited. We live such short lives compared to your people that we feel the need to leave something behind." Princess Zara stopped walking and turned to face Lisa. Her skin had shifted to a deep blue color that Lisa did not recognize from the cultural briefings. "Short lives," she repeated. How short. Lisa felt uncomfortable discussing human mortality with a being who might live for thousands of years. On average, about 80 years, though some live longer with modern medicine. The princess made a sound that might have been sadness. 80 years, she whispered. "That is barely a moment. How do you bear it knowing your time is so brief?" Lisa had never thought about it that way. Perhaps that is why we love so fiercely and create so passionately. We know we do not have forever. The blue in Princess Zara's skin deepened and she looked away across the gardens. "Your species continues to surprise me, Commander Martinez. Your people face the certainty of death, yet you still find joy, still build beautiful things, still reach out to strangers across the stars." They spent the next several days in formal negotiations, but Lisa found herself looking forward to the informal conversations afterward. Princess Zara would invite her to walk through different parts of the palace or the city, showing her wonders that took Lisa's breath away. The princess had a way of tilting her head when she was curious that made Lisa forget she was talking to an alien royalty. When Zara laughed, her skin would shimmer through rainbow colors in the most beautiful display Lisa had ever seen. The sound itself was like wind chimes mixed with distant thunder, musical and powerful. Lisa began to notice small things about the princess. The way she touched plants as she walked past them, and they seemed to brighten in response. How she would pause to listen to conversations between her people and smile at something amusing. The gentle way she corrected servants who made mistakes, never showing anger or impatience. One evening, Princess Zara invited Lisa to her private chambers for dinner. The room was smaller and more intimate than the formal dining halls, with walls that showed a real-time view of the Zephyrian sunset. The furniture was clearly designed for comfort, rather than ceremony. as they ate strange but delicious alien foods. Princess Zara asked Lisa about her family, her childhood, her dreams. Lisa found herself talking more openly than she had in years, telling stories about growing up on Mars Colony 7, about her parents who had died in a mining accident, about her sister who was a teacher on Europa. In return, Princess Zara shared stories of her own childhood, spent learning to rule a planet full of diverse and sometimes difficult people. She spoke of the loneliness of leadership, of making decisions that affected millions of lives, of the weight of carrying on traditions, thousands of years old. "You seem sad sometimes," Lisa said during one of these conversations. "Why does someone with so much power and beauty seem melancholy?" Princess Zara was quiet for a long time, staring out at the alien stars. "Power and beauty do not bring happiness, Commander Martinez. They bring responsibility. I have lived for over 2 centuries, but I have never experienced many of the things that make life meaningful." Like what Lisa asked gently. Love, Princess Zara said simply. Real love, not political marriages or diplomatic arrangements. "I have never met anyone who saw me as just Zara, rather than Princess Zara." Lisa felt something flutter in her chest at those words. She looked at the beautiful alien woman sitting across from her and realized that somewhere during their conversations, she had stopped seeing a princess and started seeing just Zara. A person who was lonely despite being surrounded by millions of subjects. That night, Lisa lay awake in her guest quarters thinking about the princess. The mission was going well. The trade agreements were nearly complete. Earth would benefit enormously from Zephyrian technology, and the aliens seemed genuinely interested in human culture. But Lisa found herself thinking less about the diplomatic success and more about the way Princess Zara smiled when she thought no one was watching. The way her skin shifted, colors with her emotions, the musical quality of her laugh. The intelligence and kindness in her ancient eyes. Lisa had always been focused on her career. She had never married, never even had a serious long-term relationship. Her work studying alien cultures had consumed her life. But now, for the first time, she found herself wondering what it would be like to stay on this beautiful world with this incredible woman. The thought terrified her. What was she thinking? She was a human diplomat on a temporary mission. Princess Zara was an alien royal who would live for thousands of years. It was impossible. But as Lisa finally drifted off to sleep, she found herself dreaming of silver skin and rainbow lights, of musical laughter and eyes full of starlight. Commander Lisa Martinez stared out the viewport of the Earth vessel Horizon as it approached the glowing planet of Zephyria Prime. The purple and gold swirls of the alien world filled the entire view and made her stomach flutter with nervousness. This was the mission she had trained for her entire career. But nothing could have prepared her for what lay ahead. Captain Amy Rodriguez walked up beside her and placed a steady hand on Lisa's shoulder. "You ready for this, Martinez? The diplomatic corps picked you for a reason. You know more about alien cultures than anyone else in the fleet." Lisa nodded, but her hands were still shaking slightly. 6 months of preparation, studying Zephyrian customs language and social structures, reading every report from the first contact team, learning about their technology, their art, their way of life. But there was so much they still did not know about these beings. The Zephyrians had made contact with Earth only 2 years ago. Their ships had appeared, suddenly in orbit around Earth, broadcasting messages of peace and friendship in perfect English. They claimed to have been watching humanity for decades, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. What they wanted was simple trade knowledge, sharing cultural exchange. They offered advanced technology in return for human art, music, and stories. They seemed fascinated by human creativity and emotion in ways that puzzled Earth scientists. But there was one problem. The Zephyrian government would only negotiate with female representatives. They claimed their society was ruled by women, and they felt more comfortable dealing with what they called the gentler gender. This had caused quite a stir back on Earth, where male diplomats had dominated for centuries. Lisa had been chosen from hundreds of candidates. She spoke 12 languages, held degrees in xenoanthropology and interspecies relations, and had spent years studying every known alien culture in the galaxy. She was also one of the few diplomats who had never shown fear or disgust when meeting non-human species. The shuttle bay doors opened with a soft hiss, and Lisa took her first breath of recycled Zephyrian air. It smelled like flowers and electricity with an undertone of something she could not identify. The artificial gravity felt slightly lighter than Earth normal, making her steps feel bouncy. Her assistant, Kate Wilson, gathered the diplomatic supplies while Lisa checked her translation device one more time. The Zephyrians had provided them with universal translators, but Lisa preferred to rely on her own language skills when possible. Commander Martinez Kate said softly, "The Zephyrian escort ship is requesting permission to dock. They want to personally escort you to the planet's surface." Lisa straightened her uniform and checked her appearance in the polished metal wall. She had chosen to wear her dress uniform rather than casual clothes. The deep blue fabric with silver trim made her look professional and authoritative. Her dark hair was pulled back in a neat bun and she wore minimal jewelry, just the small silver earrings her mother had given her for luck. "Let them dock," Lisa said, trying to project confidence she did not entirely feel. The docking procedure took 20 minutes, during which Lisa tried to calm her racing heart. She had met aliens before, but never ones as advanced as the Zephyrians. According to the reports, they were thousands of years ahead of humanity in technology and had mastered things like faster-than-light travel energy manipulation and genetic engineering. When the airlock opened, Lisa got her first look at a Zephyrian in person. The being that stepped through was tall and graceful, with pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer with inner light. Its features were humanoid but elongated, with large silver eyes and no visible hair. Instead of hair, it had flowing tendrils that moved gently as if underwater. The Zephyrian wore robes of deep purple that seemed to shift and change color as it moved. When it spoke, its voice had a musical quality that made Lisa think of wind chimes. "Greetings, Commander Martinez. I am Ambassador Kira of the Royal House of Zephyria. I have been sent by Princess Zara herself to escort you to the palace." Lisa bowed slightly as she had practiced. "The honor is mine, Ambassador Kira. I bring greetings from Earth and look forward to meeting Princess Zara." Kira tilted its head in what Lisa hoped was approval. "Your pronunciation of our names is quite good, Commander. Most humans struggle with the tonal variations. Princess Zara will be pleased." The journey to the planet's surface took 2 hours in the Zephyrian shuttle. Lisa spent the time looking out the windows at the incredible alien landscape below them. Cities of crystal and light stretched across continents connected by bridges that seemed to be made of pure energy. Floating islands drifted through the clouds, supporting gardens and structures that defied human understanding of physics. The whole planet seemed alive with color and movement, as if the very air was full of magic. "This is magnificent," Lisa whispered, pressed against the window. "Ambassador." Kira made a sound that might have been laughter. "Princess Zara designed much of what you see. She is considered one of our greatest artists as well as our most skilled diplomat. You will find her quite unlike anyone you have ever met." As they descended toward the capital city, Lisa caught sight of the royal palace. It rose from the center of the city like a mountain of living light. Its spires twisted into the sky while waterfalls of luminous energy cascaded down its sides. The entire structure seemed to pulse with a gentle rhythm like a heartbeat. Lisa felt her breath catch in her throat. How was she supposed to negotiate with beings who could create something so beautiful? Who had technology so advanced it looked like magic to human eyes? The shuttle landed on a platform that materialized beneath them. As they approached, Lisa gathered her courage and followed Ambassador Kira out into the alien city. The air was warm and filled with music that seemed to come from the buildings themselves. Creatures that might have been birds but looked more like flying flowers drifted through the air in lazy spirals. The gravity was definitely lighter here, making Lisa feel like she was walking on the moon. Groups of Zephyrians stopped to stare at her as they walked through the streets. Their skin colors shifted from curious blues to excited golds as they caught sight of the human visitor. Lisa tried to smile and wave, feeling like an exotic animal on display. The palace entrance was guarded by beings in armor that looked like it was made of crystallized starlight. They nodded respectfully to Ambassador Kira and stepped aside to let the small group pass. Inside the palace was even more incredible than the outside walls of translucent material showed scenes that seemed to move and change like living. Choicy paintings. The floors were made of something that felt soft underfoot but looked like solid glass. Everywhere Lisa looked, there were wonders that challenged her understanding of what was possible. Ambassador Kira led them through corridor after corridor, each more beautiful than the last. Finally, they stopped before massive doors that reached up into shadow above. Beyond these doors lies the throne room of Princess Zara, Kira said solemnly. She has been waiting to meet you, Commander Martinez, I hope. You are ready? Lisa took a deep breath and nodded, as ready as anyone could be for meeting an alien princess. The doors began to open. The next morning brought troubling news. Ambassador Kira found Lisa in the palace library, where she had been studying Zephyrian poetry, and pulled her aside with obvious concern. Commander Martinez, we have received word from the outer colonies. There are reports of ships approaching our system. Unknown vessels moving at high speed. Lisa felt her diplomatic training kick in immediately. Unknown ships. Could they be from Earth? We were not expecting any other vessels, Ambassador. Kira shook her head, the tendrils that served as hair moving in agitated patterns. No, these ships do not match any human designs. Our long-range sensors suggest they belong to the Vorthon Empire. Lisa had heard that name in her xenopolitical studies. The Vorthons were a militant species that had been expanding aggressively across this sector of the galaxy. They were known for their brutal conquest methods and had destroyed several peaceful civilizations. How long before they arrived, Lisa asked. 3 days, perhaps. For Princess Zara has called an emergency council meeting. She has requested your presence as Earth representative. The council chamber was filled with Zephyrian officials, all with skin colors shifting between the dark reds of fear and the pale blues of uncertainty. Princess Zara sat at the head of the table, her own skin a steely silver that Lisa had learned meant determination mixed with worry. The holographic display in the center showed the approaching fleet, 12 massive ships bristling, with weapons moving towards Zephyria Prime with clear hostile intent. My people, the princess addressed the council. The Vorthons have ignored all our attempts at communication. They have not responded to offers of peaceful negotiation based on their behavior in other systems. We must assume they intend to attack. An elderly Zephyrian counselor named Elder Voss spoke up, his voice trembling with age. Your Highness, our defense fleet is strong, but the Vorthons outnumber us. Perhaps we should consider evacuation. Never, Princess Zara said firmly, her skin flashing bright gold. Zephyria Prime is our home. We will not abandon it to these invaders. Lisa found herself standing before she realized what she was doing. Your Highness, if I may, Earth has some experience dealing with aggressive species. Our military might be able to help. The room fell silent. All eyes turned to the human diplomat. Princess Zara looked surprised, and something else Lisa could not identify. Hope, perhaps. Commander Martinez, your offer is generous, but Earth is months away even at your fastest speeds. Any help would arrive too late. Lisa had been thinking about this since Ambassador Kira first brought the news. Actually, Your Highness, there might be another way. The newest Earth vessels are equipped with experimental quantum drive systems. We have 3 ships currently on patrol in the Proxima sector. They could be here in 2 days. Princess Zara leaned forward, her skin brightening with interest. You would risk human lives to defend an alien world. Lisa met the princess' gaze steadily. We would defend our friends and allies. Zephyria Prime has shown nothing but friendship to humanity. It is the right thing to do. The vote was unanimous. The Zephyrian Council agreed to request Earth military assistance. Lisa sent an encrypted message through the quantum communicator system, requesting immediate backup from the patrol fleet. That evening, Princess Zara found Lisa on one of the palace balconies, looking up at the alien stars. The princess moved silently across the crystal floor until she stood beside the human woman. Thank you, Princess Zara said quietly. Your people did not have to offer help. Lisa turned to face the princess, noting how the starlight made her skin seem to glow from within. My people believe in standing up to bullies, Your Highness. Zephyrians have never harmed anyone. The Vorthans destroy entire civilizations for resources that makes the choice easy. Princess Zara smiled sadly, and Lisa saw emotions shifting across her features like clouds across a sky. You speak of right and wrong as if they are simple things, Commander Martinez. But what if your ships are destroyed? What if human lives are lost because of our conflict? Then we will have lost them in defense of something beautiful, Lisa said, gesturing toward the glowing city below. This world, this culture, your people create art that takes my breath away. You have technology that could solve half of humanity's problems, but you offer it freely in friendship that is worth defending. The princess was quiet for a long time. When she finally spoke, her voice was softer than Lisa had ever heard it. You continue to surprise me, Commander Martinez. I have met many diplomats over the years. Most speak of trade agreements and territorial boundaries. You speak of friendship and sacrifice. Lisa felt her heart racing as she looked at the beautiful alien woman beside her. There is something else I should tell you, Your Highness. Princess Zara turned to face her fully, her skin shifting to curious blues and greens. Lisa took a deep breath. In my culture, when someone cares deeply for another person, they often give them gifts, small tokens of affection. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small object. It was a music box her grandmother had given her years ago, made of wood and silver with a tiny dancing figure inside. When wound up, it played an old Earth song called Moon River. The melody was simple, but hauntingly beautiful. Princess Zara accepted the gift with obvious wonder, turning it over in her long, graceful fingers. What does it do? Lisa wound the small key and opened the lid. The tiny melody filled the evening air. The princess gasped as her skin immediately shifted to brilliant, golds and purples. It is beautiful, she whispered. But why are you giving this to me? Lisa felt her cheeks burning because you said you had never experienced real love. Someone seeing you as just Zara instead of Princess Zara. I wanted you to know that. When I look at you, I see someone kind and intelligent and beautiful. Someone who cares about her people but dreams of something more. Princess Zara clutched the music box to her chest, her skin cycling through colors Lisa had never seen before. But, Commander Martinez, I am not human. We are different species from different worlds. How could there ever be anything between us? Lisa stepped closer, until she could see her own reflection in the Princess Violet eyes. I do not know the answer to that, but I know that these past weeks have been the happiest of my life. I know that when you smile, the whole room seems brighter. I know that I would rather spend one day as just Lisa, talking to just Zara, than a lifetime as Commander Martinez negotiating with Princess Zara. The princess reached out and gently touched Lisa's face with her cool fingers. Lisa, you do not understand what you are saying. The differences between our species, the distance between our worlds. Lisa covered the princess' hand with her own. Then help me understand. Teach me about your world, your people, your heart, princess. Zara's skin was now glowing so brightly that Lisa had to squint. The music box continued to play its simple melody as the two women stood together under the alien stars. Tomorrow we may face a battle that could destroy everything, Lisa said quietly. Tonight let us just be two people who care about each other. Princess Zara smiled, and Lisa saw tears forming in those ancient, beautiful eyes. You are either very brave or very foolish, Commander Martinez. Maybe both, Lisa admitted. Can you live with that? The princess laughed, that musical sound that made the floating flowers around them pulse with brighter colors. I think I would like to try. They stood together, in comfortable silence, listening to the music box and watching the stars until the distant sound of approaching ships reminded them that tomorrow would bring danger. Neither of them might survive. The Earth ships arrived exactly when Lisa had promised. Captain Michelle Torres led the small fleet, consisting of 3 heavy cruisers, equipped with the latest human military technology. The vessels looked crude and angular compared to the flowing, organic designs of Zephyrian ships, but they carried enough firepower to make the Vorthons think twice about easy conquest. Lisa met Captain Torres in the palace war room where Princess Zara and her military advisors were planning the defense of their world. The human captain was a veteran of the Centauri conflicts with graying hair and steady eyes that had seen too much combat. Commander Martinez, Captain Torres said with a slight smile, "Good to see you again, though I wish it were under better circumstances. The feeling is mutual." Captain Lisa replied, "Captain Torres, this is Princess Zara, ruler of Zephyria Prime." "Your Highness, Captain Torres commands the Earth Defense Force Patrol. Fleet." Princess Zara rose from her chair and bowed, slightly in the human fashion she had been practicing. "Captain Torres, Earth honors us by sending aid. We are grateful for your people's friendship." Captain Torres looked impressed by the Princess' grace and obvious intelligence. "Your Highness, Commander, Martinez's message indicated you have detailed intelligence on the Vorthan fleet capabilities. The next several hours were spent in intensive planning. The Zephyrian ships were faster and more maneuverable than human vessels, but the Earth ships carried heavier armor and more powerful weapons. The plan was to combine their strengths using Zephyrian speed to harass the enemy, while human firepower dealt the decisive blows." Lisa found herself serving as translator and cultural liaison, helping the two military forces understand each other. The Zephyrians fought with elegant, coordinated movements that looked almost like a dance. Human tactics were more direct and aggressive, based on overwhelming firepower and stubborn determination. Princess Zara proved to be an excellent military strategist despite her young appearance. She understood both the strengths and limitations of her forces and quickly adapted to incorporate human capabilities into her plans. Lisa watched with growing admiration as the princess commanded respect from hardened military officers of two different species. As the planning session ended, Captain Torres pulled Lisa aside for a private conversation. "Commander, what is your assessment of our chances?" Lisa considered carefully. "The Vorthans have numbers and experience, but they are not expecting organized resistance. Most civilizations they have conquered were peaceful and unprepared. We have advance warning, good defensive positions and ships they have never faced before. I would say we have a fighting chance." Captain Torres nodded grimly. "That will have to be enough. What about evacuation procedures for civilians?" Princess Zara overheard the question and approached them. Captain Torres, "Our people will not abandon their home? We have prepared shelters, but we stay and fight together." The captain looked skeptical. "Your Highness, with respect, civilian casualties in orbital bombardment scenarios can be catastrophic." Princess Zara's skin shifted to determined. "Silver Captain Torres, Zephyrians have lived on this world for 50,000 years. We have survived ice ages, solar flares, and 3 previous invasions. We do not run." Lisa felt a surge of pride and fear watching the princess. The courage was admirable, but the stubbornness could be dangerous. The Vorthan fleet dropped out of hyperspace 18 hours later, exactly where Zephyrian sensors had predicted 12 massive warships, bristling with weapons and armor that had conquered dozens of worlds. They moved in perfect formation toward the planet, broadcasting demands for immediate surrender. Princess Zara responded personally from the palace communication center. "This is Princess Zara of Zephyria Prime. You are not welcome in our system. Leave, now, and no harm will come to you." The Vorthan commander appeared on the screen, a reptilian creature with scarred hide and cold yellow eyes. "Princess Zara, I am war leader. Grex of the Vorthan Empire. Your world has resources we require. Surrender now, and your people will be allowed to live as our servants." "Never," Princess Zara replied, her skin flashing bright, defiant gold. "War leader," Grex hissed, showing rows of sharp teeth. "Then you have chosen extinction, little princess. Your primitive ships cannot stand against Vorthan might." The screen went dark and immediately alarms began sounding throughout the palace. The battle for Zephyria Prime had begun. Lisa rushed to the palace observation deck where she could watch the space battle unfold. The Zephyrian defense fleet rose to meet the invaders, their ships glowing like jewels against the starfield. They moved with incredible grace, weaving between enemy fire like dancers. The Earth ships held back initially, following the planned strategy. They would wait until the Vorthans were fully engaged, then strike at their flanks with concentrated firepower. The first exchange was devastating. 3 Zephyrian ships were destroyed immediately by the overwhelming Vorthon weapons, but the surviving defenders adapted quickly, using their superior speed to stay ahead of the enemy. Guns Princess Zara stood beside Lisa, watching her people fight and die for their world. Her skin cycled through colors Lisa had never seen. Deep purple shot through with silver, lightning that spoke of rage and determination. "They are brave," Lisa said quietly. "They are my people." Princess Zara replied, "They trust me to protect them, and I am asking them to die for our freedom." The battle raged for hours. The Zephyrian ships darted in and out of the enemy formation like angry wasps, striking where they could and retreating before the massive Vorthon guns could lock onto them. But they were taking losses, and the enemy pressed closer to the planet. Then Captain Torres made her move. The 3 Earth ships appeared suddenly from behind one of Zephyrus' moons, catching the Vorthon fleet completely by surprise. Human plasma cannons tore through alien armor, while missile salvos overwhelmed enemy defenses. 2 Vorthon ships were destroyed in the first minutes of Earth involvement. War leader Grek's voice came over the communication channels, filled with rage and confusion. "What are these new ships who dares interfere with Vorthon conquest?" Captain Torres responded calmly. "This is Captain Torres of the Earth Defense Force. War leader Grex, you are attacking our allies. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences." The Vorthon leader hissed his fury. "These humans dare challenge the Empire. You will all die for your arrogance." But Lisa could see that the battle had shifted. The combined human and Zephyrian forces were holding their own. The enemy had expected easy conquest, not coordinated resistance from 2 species working together. Princess Zara grasped Lisa's hand tightly, her skin glowing with hope. "It might actually work," she whispered. "They might actually retreat." War leader Grex had other ideas. "If I cannot have this world intact, then no one will have it." He ordered his remaining ships to form up for orbital bombardment. They would destroy the planet's surface rather than admit defeat. Lisa felt her blood run cold as she realized what was happening. The Vorthons were preparing to kill every living thing on Zephyria Prime, rather than lose face Princess Zara. "This is..." Captain Torres' voice came over the communication system. "The enemy is powering up for planetary bombardment. We need to evacuate your people now." Princess Zara's skin went pure white with shock and fear. But there was nowhere to run. Even their fastest ships could not evacuate millions of people before the bombardment began. Lisa looked at the beautiful alien woman beside her, at the glowing city below, at the incredible civilization that was about to be destroyed. She thought about her grandmother, music box, about walks through floating gardens, about the sound of Princess Zara's laughter. Then she made a decision that surprised even herself. "Princess Zara," she said quietly, "I have an idea, but you are not going to like it." Princess Zara turned to Lisa with desperate eyes. "What idea, Commander Martinez?" Lisa took a deep breath, knowing what she was about to suggest would change everything. "The Vorthons are charging their bombardment weapons, but that takes time and massive amounts of energy. If we could overload their power systems simultaneously..." Princess Zara's skin flickered with confused colors. "How could we possibly do that?" Lisa pointed to the palace around them. "Your people have mastered energy manipulation in ways humans never dreamed. The entire city runs on controlled plasma streams. What if we could reverse those streams, send all that energy outward, instead of containing it?" The princess' eyes widened with understanding and horror. "You are suggesting we turn our entire civilization into a weapon, Lisa, that would destroy everything we have built?" "I know," Lisa said softly. "But it would save your people and they could rebuild. The alternative is everyone dies." Princess Zara was quiet for a long moment, staring out at the approaching enemy fleet. Finally, she spoke in a voice filled with pain. "It would take someone with royal authority to access the planetary energy grid, and they would have to stay behind to manually control the process." Lisa felt her heart breaking as she realized what the princess was saying. "You would die." Princess Zara smiled sadly, her skin cycling through gentle golds and silvers. "Someone has to make the sacrifice, Lisa. My people trusted me to protect them. This is how I protect Them no, Lisa said firmly. There has to be another way. Princess Zara placed her cool hands on Lisa's face. Lisa Martinez, you have given me something I never expected to find. Real love. Someone who saw past the crown and the title to the person underneath. I will not let the Vorthons take that away from either of us. Before Lisa could respond, Princess Zara activated the palace communication system. Attention all citizens of Zephyria Prime. This is Princess Zara. By royal decree, all civilians are to evacuate to the underground shelters immediately. This is not a drill. She turned back to Lisa. You must go with Captain Torres' ships. Help my people rebuild when this is over. Tell them their princess died protecting what she loved. Most Lisa shook, her head tears streaming down her face. I am not leaving you. Princess Zara, you have given me the greatest gift anyone could give. You showed me what it means to love and be loved. I will not waste that gift by dying. Uselessly. Lisa wiped her eyes and straightened her shoulders. I am a xenotechnology specialist, Your Highness. I know energy systems better than anyone. If someone has to stay behind to control the process, it should be me. Not you. Now it was Princess Zara's turn to refuse. Absolutely. Not Lisa, you are human. You do not understand our technology well enough. Then teach me, Lisa said desperately. We have maybe an hour before they finish charging their weapons. Teach me how to do this, and then you can evacuate with your people. Princess. Zara stared at Lisa for a long moment, her skin cycling through every color Lisa had ever seen. Finally, she spoke in a whisper. You would die to save my people. Lisa reached into her pocket and pulled out something she had been carrying for days, her grandmother's engagement ring, a simple silver band with a small diamond. She had brought it from Earth, not really knowing why. Princess Zara, she said, dropping to one knee on the crystal floor. I know our peoples are different. I know there will be challenges. But I cannot imagine my life without you. Will you marry me? Princess Zara gasped, covering her mouth with her hands, as musical giggles began to escape, despite the desperate situation. Oh, Lisa, she said between giggles, this is the most wonderfully absurd thing anyone has ever done for me. Absurd, Lisa repeated, feeling confused. Princess Zara knelt down beside Lisa, still giggling softly. Absurd in the most beautiful way. You see, in Zephyrian culture, when someone wants to bond with another person, they present them with a living star. But you brought me this tiny, beautiful symbol from your world and knelt before me like some ancient knight. It is so perfectly human, so wonderfully romantic. The princess slipped the ring onto her finger where it seemed to glow with inner light. Yes, Lisa Martinez of Earth, it is absolutely a yes. Lisa felt relief and terror flooding through her at the same time. So we face this together. Princess. Zara kissed Lisa softly. When their lips met, Lisa felt electricity pass between them and colors danced behind her closed eyelids. Together, she whispered. The next hour was a desperate race against time. Princess Zara taught Lisa how to access the planetary energy grid, while Captain Torres coordinated the evacuation of as many civilians as possible. The Zephyrian ships continued to harass the enemy, buying precious minutes. Finally, the moment came. The Vorthon bombardment weapons were fully charged, and war leader Grex was preparing to fire. Princess Zara and Lisa stood together in the palace control room, hands linked as they prepared to sacrifice everything. Ready, Princess Zara? Asked. Lisa nodded, and together they activated the energy reversal system. What happened next was beyond anything either of them had imagined. Instead of simply overloading the enemy ships, the combined human and Zephyrian technologies created something entirely new. The planetary energy streams merged with Lisa, human bioelectricity, and Princess Zara's Zephyrian energy manipulation abilities. The result was a pulse of pure creative force that washed over the Vorthon fleet. Instead of destroying the ships, it transformed them. The weapons became art installations. The armor became beautiful sculptures. The engines became musical instruments that sang with harmonic frequencies. War leader Grex found himself and his crew overcome with emotions they had never experienced before. Beauty, wonder, love. the desire to create, rather than destroy. When the energy pulse faded, Princess, Zara and Lisa were still alive, still holding hands, still glowing with residual power. The palace around them had been transformed too, becoming even more beautiful than before, with walls that showed not just images but actual windows into other dimensions. Captain Torres' voice came over the communication system. Commander Martinez, Princess Zara. What just happened? The enemy fleet has stopped attacking. They are sending messages of apology and offers of friendship. Lisa looked at Princess Zara, whose skin was cycling through colors that seemed to include new hues that had never existed before. I think we just discovered what happens when human stubbornness meets Zephyrian artistry. Princess Zara laughed, that musical sound that now seemed to make reality itself shimmer with joy. We created something new, something impossible, a weapon that spreads love instead of destruction. The war was over, but Lisa and Princess Zara's story was just beginning. As they stood together in their transformed palace looking out at a galaxy that had just become a more beautiful place, Lisa realized that sometimes the most important discoveries came not from studying alien cultures, but from opening your heart to alien love. And Princess Zara finally had her living star. It was just shaped like a human diplomat with stubborn courage and a grandmother ring.